Good evening. Hey there, how are you?
Hello.
How's it
Hello.
going, Cecile? Hi, Jeremy. I hope that with the delay, people join us today again. I mean, we're always still here by 6:30.
We
So
are.
anyway, all right. So let me set this up here. All right. So while I wait for a couple more people to join us, I'm going to open up our a window in Chrome in Chrome in
Canvas.
VM View, because we're gonna have
Hi, Katie.
go there. Hi, Katie. How's it going?
Pretty good. It's a little cold.
Yeah, I'm cold again.
I've started
but
to go
what's
for
new?
like
The
the
fingerless gloves.
hat, got my cup of tea. I'm just like, I'm ready. I'm not going to be moving. I've already I read constantly and I'm on the computer constantly anyway. So I'm just like, it's kind of life. Ready?
I know. I was frozen today. I have like my scarf. I have everything here. I keep putting things on and off. Just can't. I told you, was it last week that I was telling you about the heater on top of my head?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, haven't been able to figure that one out yet. Hi, Shochit. I'm glad you made it today. Your schedule. Okay, so that was not good. I wasn't able to get into VMView. I have some things I want to show. There we go. Now I'm in. One of the things that I want to show you today for the next PowerPoint module, which has quite a bit of new stuff. So I needed to get in there. It looks like it's letting me in this time. Yeah, it is. Okay. First time around, it told me that it was not recognizing me. All right. So what's up with everyone? How's it? Oh, were you trying to ask a question, Katie? Or
yeah. So
Oh.
for the PowerPoint, the one that they're turning in today,
Mhm.
the paw print of it is, or a couple of the pictures are hard to get to the right size.
Yeah.
And it's
really?
it's been tricky for a couple. We had at least 2
Interesting.
students.
Are they
in.
asking? It's interesting. Are they? Is it
Veronica.
requesting a specific size? Hi, Veronica.
Yeah,
a specific size that it just doesn't adjust to it, or
Veronica was one of the students that came in that I did not get it to work, and I'm angry about that. But I did get someone else's to work, and I don't know what was the difference between the two.
So
Yeah.
Veronica, tell me again, what is it that's happening?
Yeah, Sarah, who doesn't actually come into class.
So Veronica, what's up? What was it that
It was the textbook. I think Katie was able to get it to work on one of the SAM, either A or B, I can't remember. But on the textbook, every time we would adjust the size, either the height would change or the width would change.
Huh. And you weren't able to unlock it. So are they doing the thing again where they're trying to get you to distort the thing? My pet peeve from last time. So meaning it doesn't give you the right height and
Well, when
they
you
first, sorry, go for it, Veronica.
Oh, I was just going to say I guess the first step was that you had to insert the photograph, the picture. And then once the picture was inserted, it would tell you to either shift it this way, shift it that way, and then adjust the size. Is that what you were going to say, Katie?
Yeah,
when you adjust the size, it's not letting you to then adjust it non-proportionally, so to say.
So the first one, for the paw prints, they have you make it taller to a certain degree in the center movie handle, and then they make you go longer on the side handle here.
So let's do this. I'll tell you guys what's up this week, and we'll go into give some samples of smart art and graphics, and then we can just pull up those assignments and see what's up and see if I can help you figure it out.
I'm glad I'm not the
Um,
only one that had this issue because I think I accidentally got it right, but it does just stretches it out, and you go.
Yes, it doesn't look
The
right.
instructions are it's very hard to follow, kind of.
I'm having I am trying to sign in through. Has anyone had trouble? I'm trying to sign in through VDI
Uh-huh.
I had to restart.
to Pipeline so that I can download the, the file inside of VDI that I want us to use. And what
I
did you
had to
have to
s-
do?
I had to stop and restart both of my windows because it was just buffering.
Wow. It's
Uh,
no, to me, it just brings up the, I go into Pipeline and it just, SBCC is not letting me in.
Yeah, it's not letting me in either. I'm trying right now and it just says, please reconnect to the server. And then it takes me back. to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah,
To-
me too.
to-
And it's not the regular sign in. It's a weird,
It's a weird, yeah.
sign in. Shoot.
I have to look.
And it's not in VDI because I was working in Canvas just fine. Huh. Can you try?
I'm logging in.
Because I really need us to
Can you share your
download.
screen?
If only my keyboard doesn't fall.
It heard me. It's like, no.
Okay, rescuing my keyboard, which just completely flew off. That was weird. Okay, I am moving things around on my desktop and okay. All right, so I need to join us from this computer. But wow, such a weird one. Okay, so let me join us from this computer, and then I know I did update my computer to a new OS. But I've been using. No, I don't want the sound. I don't believe that I.
I got in to VDI.
So did I. I just got in again.
No, into VDI, yes, but one in. Okay, so here's. I'm
Get to
trying
Canvas.
To Canvas.
In
Yeah.
VDI? Okay.
So, okay, so here's here I'm sharing now. Open Google, and I try to go to SBCC. And when I click on Pipeline, see, it gives me this sign in, which is not the typical one. And when I sign in, thinking, okay, maybe they changed it,
No, that's wrong.
it doesn't let me in.
Okay.
It treats me as a new person and it
Okay,
doesn't let me in.
Pipe.
And I went straight into pipeline.sbcc to go in that way, and it still says this page isn't working.
It's working on mine. What are you typing in? Hit cancel.
But
Okay,
I
so
I tried pipeline and SBCC.
just type in pipeline for me. Pipeline.sbcc.edu. Okay, enter. It shouldn't be giving you that.
I know.
It did not give me
That's-
that.
That's why I'm saying
So,
something's really weird.
Let's try logging you out then.
Let me
both-
see. Hold on. Let me try with Bing or one of those weird ones to see if it's perchance.
Mhm.
Wow.
Welcome to Microsoft Edge.
Yay. I guess I've never used it in this side of.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, it's gonna make me confirm. Nope, don't want to know all that. Okay, so.
Still
This
doing
is
weird things.
still
Yeah,
a weird
let's log you out then.
Yeah.
Okay, close the windows in here. No. Just
No, I know. I know.
share it with me. I
I'll
want to
go
watch you do this.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm the IT human.
Says
Okay. So we're in here.
logging
Oh,
out.
no. Cancel.
Logging out of the
No, no,
desktop
no.
first.
First you no, okay, you're in here. Go in into this one. Close, not that yet. Cancel. Stop going there. Go
There's
to the
two.
start menu. No, to the actual
Okay,
start menu.
Hold on, let me let someone
Real
in.
one.
Admit.
Vera's coming in.
I got her. Okay. So go to the start menu, go up to there and shut down.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Vera.
Hi,
Hi,
Vera.
Vera.
So hit close there and then go up to that one up there and log out there. And those are the two ways you have to log out to fully log out of the system.
But I also logged out of the student desktop.
Were you logged into both desktops?
I was into student. Anyway, never mind.
You shouldn't have to do the full pipeline part
I
for future
do.
reference.
I do here.
Okay.
When I don't, it doesn't let me in. I never saved it. I never did the whole save.
It shouldn't save anything? I don't know.
Well, you know how you can make it remember? Anyway, I always have to put the whole pipeline thing in there. When I only put the thing in, it tells me that I'm not permitted.
Okay.
Anyway, hi Vera. Trying to get me to Canvas, and Canvas is resisting me through VDI today. I'm fine outside on real life, but in VDI.
I was doing my TED talk, so I was didn't
Oh,
realize
cool.
didn't realize the time had gotten by me. So
Well, this is going on, which is taking forever. Anyone
it
wants to tell me about some cool TED Talk that you guys saw? I got some people already writing to me about them, but did anyone discover TED Talks with this exercise? Like, is there anyone here who had never done TED Talk before? No, you had all done some TED Talk?
Mhm.
All right.
Mine was on body language. It was very good. I suggest everybody watch it.
Yeah,
Really
you sent me
study.
the link to yours.
It was very good.
That's cool. Okay, so this is the right window. See how before I didn't have all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I
It
was
wasn't
missing out.
mapping right to the network, I
It
think.
was missing all of that.
And so the shutting down the computer and logging out of this thing does a factory reset of everything.
Yep, there I am. And I'm
Cool.
fine. All right, so shut down of Windows, huh? Very cool. Thank you, Katie. I was trying to get here because I have a file that I want to show you guys that I want you guys to do, but I don't have it inside of VDI. So I needed to go down here to download class presentations and download it into VDI. So if you go to week 14, my God, week 14, we're 2 weeks away from being done, you guys.
Wow.
So there's these two assignments that I want you guys to click on and download. In particular, the smart art and sample smart arts and shapes. All right. And meanwhile, let's open PowerPoint. PowerPoint. So I don't need to be sharing this. Let me share really quickly the actual PowerPoint presentation for today. It's a quick one. Whoops, I'm all the way at the ending of it. So
You
here we are.
spoiled the ending. Now we know.
No. The ending slide is the call to action slide is the exact same one as this one, which is my first one. So I repeat and drill it in. So here's what's due next week. Today you had the PowerPoint module 1 exercises due, and you had possible extra credit if you wanted to do it. But this week you have the option, you have the textbook 1 and 2 SAMs of module 2. And then you have another extra credit, which is called cropping and resizing. And I'm interested in seeing what's happening with your assignment, because if something has changed in 2019 that would make cropping and resizing different than this whole assignment, I need to look into it to see what's happening, if it was just the assignment requests or the whole cropping and resizing having changed. You know what I mean? But anyway, so this is the stuff that you have due next week. Again, remember that the reports are on the final slide. But one other thing you can do this week with all the extra time that everyone's going to have, because no one's traveling for Thanksgiving, right?
And nobody's going to be eating either.
No one's going to be tired and exhausted from so much turkey, unless you're still doing it in your own home. Anyway, by the way, I'm not going to, it's okay. If y'all want to tell me about a great family trip you had, I'm not going to tell on you, but I'm just kind of making a point here.
I had a turkey day for Halloween.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, you know, I'm the one who usually cooks the turkey, and I have to say I am kind of happy to not have to cook turkey. So we're gonna go with I'm from Argentina, and my kids love, very rarely during the week I make some Argentinian food, so they all ask for that. I'm like, sure, great, because my in-laws and everyone else is really traditional, and they won't move out of this, certain meals we're supposed to have for Thanksgiving, even if I'm cooking them. So this year we're going to get to have some awesome different stuff. Anyway, so during this week, you can retake, if you want, the Windows or Computer Concepts exam. Now, here's the deal. I've told you that if you get a lower grade, the higher grade will be what stays. So you can try it anyway. But here's the problem. It's a tiny problem with Cengage, where I can't seem to get the same setup I had last year, where I was able to have the grade replace each other. So what I did is I set it up again. If you take it and you get a lower grade, your lower grade will stay. But I have a printout of the grades that you got the first time. So if you take it and you get a lower grade, just email me and tell me you want your original grade, and I will go and put in your original grade. Does that make sense? If it's a higher grade, it'll stay because it's higher. But if you end up doing your exam and you end up with a lower grade, just tell me, oopsies, didn't do as well as I could. Can you please reinstate my original grade? But you'll have to tell me that, because the way I had it set up last year, I could just have the computer figure out the higher grade, but grades and SAM have been completely not cooperating with me. I don't know why. It's been a disaster, and I decided to give it up and just do it the hand method, which is I've got your grades from the first times you've taken them. Now you can only take one, not both. You have to choose which one you prefer. So go check your grades right now. For your Computer Concepts exam and for your Windows exam, they were both, max you could get was 50 points. Check your grades, write down what you got, even though I have it, that way you know what you have, or take a screenshot of what you had. And then if you take the exam again and you get better, you're fine. It'll overwrite it. But if you get less, write to me and tell me last time I got this much, and trust me, I have it all screenshotted, so I'll know what you got. But you can remind me again, make it easier, and tell me I'd rather get my 40 points instead of my 35 that I just got, or something like that. Okay. I'm having to wing it with the scores and Cengage. I told you about the extra credits where I put them all in front of you guys 2 weeks ago. I was putting them all in, and then they all disappeared. It just drove me crazy. I did that 3 times already. And it's just that since most of their grades aren't syncing well, when I go and perform a manual sync, it overrides anything I've entered manually. So I'm waiting until the last minute to put in all those extra credits, but I know you've done them. Okay. So any questions about this? This I kind of went over it last week. If you want to do the training, oh, this has the wrong words in there. This is the Windows 10 training. And the reason I'm deleting that is because we used to have an office portion to that actually. I had fixed that. Okay, there we go. So the Windows 10 training, you have to just do the training, and you can do, you know what? I didn't set the practice exam again. I had that same problem. I'll have to set up the practice exams. I'm glad I just saw this. So can you remind me, please, Katie, can you put that down on the list of things so she takes notes from me at the end to go in and reset the practice exams for Windows 10 and yeah. I've got, that's why, because one of these was, okay, I see why I'm running into trouble. I got a double copy. Okay, I keep dropping you off, but there it is. Okay, so and these are the trainings. So I need to reset these practice exams. Right now they're only set up for redoing the exam, but not the practical exams. All right. So you have the textbook SAM plus the textbook plus the 2 SAMs, the optional cropping and resizing, and then the optional take these exams again. And then we have a couple more things that I want to teach you today. Actually, let me remind you guys that between Tuesday, December 1st and Tuesday, December 8th, you'll have a whole week to do these exams. And to practice for those, you have the trainings for those, which I've already put them. But can you remind me to double check that they're all reset in the mod? I think they're already in module 18. It's just that I'm in this mode where I can't, they're in module 15, but I don't want to leave to check, but I think they're already, I think I set it all up last week. Okay. So before we start with PowerPoint for module 2, I just want to share some slides that I'm going to share them rather quickly because in the end we did, since we're starting late. And it isn't anything that you will get tested upon in this class, but you know that I'm more about wanting you guys to learn other than get a good grade. And that said, none of this is in your exam, none of this is in any grade, so I just want you guys to know it. If you want to download the presentation, and I have about 5 or 7, let me see, 6 slides here, all about copyright information. Because this is truly important when you're out there in the world working, either as a student or as a worker. You can't just take anything you like off the internet and use it, because somebody is making a living off of making photographs or making videos and posting them, expecting money for them. And if you just take it and use it, it's akin to stealing. I would just want to use your car today. Let me go and drive your car, and then I might or not return it to your house. Same thing with images, okay? It seems like it's one of those victimless crimes, but not for the people trying to make a living as artists. And in fact, I have had students in my web design and in my non-credit PowerPoint class who had businesses tell me that they got sued for having used people's online photos that they downloaded from someone. So it's not one of those things that might happen. It does happen. I mean, people who work at this, who put photos on the internet, they're constantly checking, and they can do this reverse check where they can check to see if their photos are being used. And if they are being used, they can, you know, take you to court. They can sue you. They can get a lot of money from you. So don't use any photos from the internet willy-nilly. And so I have a lot of information here about how to find out whether it's legal or it's not legal, what kind of licenses. So here I have, just, you know, go through these 3 slides if you want, but basically you can't, you can only use them if you're going to do like a personal birthday party invitation to 5 friends. you know, like a kid's birthday party, but even then that's pushing it. But if you're doing it even for school, that's the only time, like me for school, if I use it and I'm teaching, I can't use it either. But if you are using a photograph off the internet for school and you stole something and you use it in a, you know, paper that you're turning in, no one's going to sue you. But if that becomes like your thesis or your master's presentation or something like that, then you actually can get into trouble. So you have to look and make sure that the images are in the Creative Commons, or that they are public domain, or that they are given to you for free, for sure, by authors. And so here I have a whole bunch of information on that. Here's what the traditional copyright, Creative Commons, and the public domain. If it's in public domain and it's published before 1923, or if the creator has been dead for 75 years, then that material is in the public domain. For example, my son just finished putting together a movie, and he put a lot of music from content, copyright-free content places online. He tried to put it up on YouTube, and YouTube won't put it up because they discovered one snippet of a song that goes in there for like 5 seconds is part of a copyrighted sound. So he wasn't able to upload it, and we couldn't figure out why. So he had to go through all of his different sound effects and discovered one little bit that was actually copyrighted. So he had to replace that. Any big deal. And it was for a contest. It was a big deal. Fortunately, he got it up. But, you know, you can't use copyrighted stuff. And this song was a song from World War II and whatever, but the person who sang it just died last year. She was like 105 or something. So she can't use this. It was a song sang, you know, that was sung to the soldiers and stuff like that. So he thought it was way over copyright free, but nope, it was not. Anyway. So, but then you have the Creative Commons, where people may put their photos up and say, sure, you can use it. But then they give different kinds of permissions. They might give you permissions to use it without changing it. They might give you permissions to use it by giving attribution to who, you know, sure, you can use it for free, but you need to say who did it and link them to their website or to their work. Or they might say, sure, you can use it and you can modify it too. So you can, you know, collage it in Photoshop or something like that. So or they can say, nope, you can't use it without paying me. So there's different rights that people can grant you. And so here I give you a lot of that information, a lot of other places where you can get that. And then here I have explanation about, you know, attribution, non-commercial, no derivative, share and alike, you can change. So these are all things that when you start looking at the websites that I'm giving you next, you'll see all these choices, right? So what do you mean by giving attribution to someone? So you put someone's photo that, you know, not anyone, you can't just take anyone's photo and say, oh, it's okay because I give you attribution. The photo has to be allowed to be shared with attribution, right? So it's one of the versions. And the attribution basically says, this photo is by this person, licensed under Creative Commons, and you click on this person and it would take you to this person's site. Now, this explains what it means. Now, if you go to these pages that I'm going to show you next, so this whole conversation is explained better here in this link. And then here, I have a whole bunch of sites that give you things for free. So if you go to pixabay.com, pexels.com, unsplash.com, any of these, let me just give you an example. Let me share, since we're at it, let me show you the VMware. So if I go to pexels.com, free stock photos and videos, and there's a ton of really good photos, right? It's not like you have to get bad stuff. Let's look for, I don't know, throw out a word of something you might want to put in as a photograph of something.
Sunflowers.
Okay. Sunflowers. you go. Sunflowers galore. Okay. And these are, and so say that we choose this one. We want to click on this one. Then here it'll say whether it's free to use or not. And here it does say free to use CCO, which is the whole Creative Commons. If you click on the info, it'll give you more information. Free to use, no attribution required. So you don't even have to give attribution to this one. Learn more about the license. You click on the license and here it just tells you what different Creative Commons might be. So now you know that you are free to download it. So you just click on it, download it, and you have this great photo to use versus having found some sunflowers online that are copyrighted and that they don't say copyrighted. They're just there, but some person already paid to put them in there or something and you don't know. But if you go to the right sites, and as I said, my PowerPoint has a whole bunch of information about what the right sites are, then you can get those things for free. Let me look at another example. Another one is, so Pixabay. Okay, so I'm going to go to Pixabay now. .com. Okay, so here's another royalty-free illustrations, photos, and videos. Let's see if we go to sunflowers here, what it gives me. Here we go. Bunches of other sunflowers. And let me go to this one. And here it'll say free for commercial use, no attribution required. Because some might say free for personal use, but not for commercial or different things. But you just kind of read it. And if you like it, then you download it. Okay. And then there's others down here that if you choose to like one of these, those are not free. So say I click on this one, it'll so this one is $12 or 4 months without or continue. So you'll find which ones are or aren't free. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to not spend too much more time, but I wanted to show you that there are great sites, great options. It's not like you are stuck with having to go with your own photo of a sunflower, which might be great or might not be so good, to protect you and to protect the artists. Okay. So that's what this presentation, let me go back to my PowerPoint presentation now. Here we go. So anyway, here's examples. Wikimedia.org explains the whole commons thing. Here's good free. I mean, I have a huge list, and now that I think about it, I used to have it in my Comp 101, but now that I copied Jen's course, can I ask you a favor also? Can you remind me to to email the list? I have pages and pages of good graphics and art for good stuff that's free and copyright free to use, and because you might have things that are copyrighted, but they still let you use them for money or something like that. But these are free and free to use. So I have handouts on how to find copyright free images in Google, and I kind of want to move on to the point of today. But if anyone wants to know, because if you use Google to look for images, most of those are copyrighted, but I can show you within Google how to find copyright free images. And you know what, that's so important because everyone uses Google. Let me do that, and then I will continue with today's point because everyone uses Google. So let me do that. Let me share. Let me share that one more time. So say you go to Google and you Google sunflowers. Now we're going with that one thing, sunflowers, right? And you hit Google. Now, one of the things that's going to happen here is there's going to be a ton of flowers, and if you know you're looking for images, for example, versus video, you can click here under images, right? And then you get lots and lots of images, right? Well, guess what? The majority of these images are not copyright free. How do you find out images that are copyright free from Google? Well, here's what you do. Over here where it says tools, so you have to be in images, you go to tools. Look at that. When you hit tools, see the second row that shows up? And there's usage rights. So all means that every image here could have rights or not, but you want a Creative Commons license. A Creative Commons means it's free for you to use. So then you click on Creative Commons licenses, and there you go. Other than the ones that are here, this is advertisement, always the first row. Then this now is all images that are technically free for you to use. And if you look at the addresses, there you go. Pixabay.com, Pixie.org, PXFuel, Commons Wikimedia, Pixie. These are kind of the ones that I've been showing you, right? PixRepo, LibreShot. So say that I want the Wikimedia Commons. I click on that one. And here it tells me license details. And I go look at the license details and, oh, it's attribution share alike. So this one says that you are able to share and distribute under the following terms. You must give it here. I'm so glad I clicked on one that asks for attribution. You must give appropriate credit and provide a link to the license and indicate if changes were made, right? So say that, so this one is basically, if you do remix transforward, you have to, so basically this one really doesn't want you to mess with it, all right? And so you go, okay, well, then I look for another one, or that's perfect, I want to use it. So you click on the image and then you can download it. You can download it for free. But the request was that you're supposed to license it. And so basically here, okay. Anyway, enough. So basically back quickly under images in Google, click on tools and then click on Creative Commons licenses and then everything you have there. Because if you go to all, you might end up on something that you might see this picture, which is awesome, but this is not free to use, but nothing will say that it's free to use or not. Here, well, here it says images may be subject to copyright, but it's a magazine that posted this image in their article and they paid a photographer to take it, or they bought from a photographer. You can't just use it, right? You might like it. That doesn't mean you can use it. All right. I think I've said enough. You got the point, right? And now let's continue with what's next. So what's next is me showing you, I want to really quickly show you the PowerPoint one last time, which is what's in PowerPoint Module 2. And in Module 2, you have first of all, you're going to be working with online themes. Remember when I showed you themes last week, it was the ones that came with Microsoft, but you're going to have to search online for one. And then it's going to show you how to insert symbols, and symbols being, for example, the copyright symbol or the trademark symbol or the, those kind of symbols on text. And then it's going to show you how to insert hyperlinks. You can hyperlink to web pages. For example, when I sit in my PowerPoints and I click on something, it's a hyperlink that I'm adding. That then when you click on it, it sends you to the page. And then we're going to start working with Smart Art. Now, you guys didn't do Smart Art in Word either, right? So is this your first introduction to Smart Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because, by the way, Smart Art exists in the other programs, but usually PowerPoint is the most graphic of programs, right? So here's where we teach you it, but whatever you learn here, you'll also be able to apply once again in Word. Same with symbols and hyperlinks and all of that. A lot of this you keep learning throughout other programs, but other than Access, which truly has its own little thing, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word all have a lot of the same features. So you can put hyperlinks and symbols into Excel. You can change themes and all of that and all of them. But in some, they're more iconic because it is the place where you do graphics is PowerPoint. So this is where we're showing this to you. But everything you learned about how to resize images applies to any of these programs. So Smart Art is an easy way to make graphics, charts and graphics and all those kinds of things that you can do, org charts, or there's so many of those. So we're going to practice a few of those, and you can edit it, change them. work with shapes, draw shapes, move them around. So there's a lot of art creation, not art like in a real artistic, but basic shapes that then you put together to create your own version of smart art, so to say. Smart art are pre-created by Microsoft, and you just write what you want to write, and it just takes your text and puts it in these boxes that look like a chart and stuff like that. You know how easy it was in Excel to make a chart. You just pressed go and boom, you had a chart. Kind of like that is what smart art is, but you can also make your own shapes. So you're going to have the chance to do both for this assignment. I'm going to teach you a little bit about each one. All right. And so basically this is the second part of what you're going to be doing, putting in pictures as the shape fill and using grids, guides, rulers, and stuff like that. So all of this, I'm going to try to give you today some practice on the parts of this that might be harder, that people tend to stumble a little bit on, which is when you have to move shapes around and things like that. And then you've already done slide transitions, right? Yesterday. Oh, you didn't do slide transitions in the first assignment.
No.
Okay, I did not know that. So I wasn't planning to show you that, but I'll show you really quickly some transitions. I thought the first assignment had slide transitions. It used to. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so then I'll show you a few slide transitions. You're gonna have to remind me that.
They all meld together to me.
I know.
I can't tell
After
where
a
they
while,
start
I'm
and where it ends.
I mean, the assignments that we had from Office 2016 to 2019 are pretty much, they've changed the theme. Like one was about water, another was about dogs, but they practice the same things, so to say. But I assumed that transitions was something that came in PowerPoint module 1. I guess not. Okay.
Because I tried to get it to do automatic, you know, how to run the slideshow automatically, but I didn't have the transitions, so I couldn't, you know, get it to run automatically. I had to tap or, you know, use
no, actually that transitions has nothing to do with it running automatically or not. So when, you know what, when I pull up the example now and we start using it, can you remind me to show you that, how to do that? Because it's not related to transitions. Transitions make them go from one to the next in a smoother way with a little cinematic transition, so to say. But other than that, it's not related to whether it runs automatically or not. So can someone take a note, maybe Katie, to remind me to work on transitions and effect options? Because I wasn't going to show that today because I didn't notice that it was not in PowerPoint 1. Okay. And my good old final slide, once again, what's due? Okay, any questions before we jump into this? Now, I already heard from you saying that crop or resizing was a problem. Any other problems with last, well, not last week's, but the ones that are due today that anyone might wonder about, or questions about the exams? The exams for Access and PowerPoint, of course, we're going to be not due next week, but the following, but how you study for them are usually doing the trainings, you know that?
I'm like, I'm going to have to re-review Access.
Yeah, but see, this time you've already had, because I gave you money, I gave you points for it. You already had to do the whole training. So by the time you do it again, it'll be much more familiar to you this time. So it should be easier to study for that one. I've never made you do the trainings for any other of the programs. So if you do the trainings for PowerPoints, it'll be your first time doing it, but that's how you're going to be tested. So please do the trainings, but you don't really have to do this until next week yet. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, even after what I said. And don't let me ruin your Thanksgiving. And now let's, go to VMview. I do need to download the file. So here was what I wanted you to download. I wanted you to download the sample of Smart Art and Shapes. So if you have or haven't done that yet, please download that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it for it to open up.
Well, mine's is different.
Oh, I'm on the wrong. I'm sharing the wrong screen. That is what you need to do. And this,
You need this one up? Because that's not the one I got.
this is the one,
That's
yeah.
what I got. Yeah.
Yeah. The one I was sharing the wrong screen. That screen, the one that I had before, that's your actual assignment that you are going to be creating for your homework. For the first time, this textbook project actually comes with a lot of stuff pre-made for you. So when you download the textbook project from Module 2, it already has 10, 11 slides, and you have to modify some things, change some things, add some things, but it's already an existing file, kind of like the SAMs have been. But this is the textbook project for Module 2, and it comes with a lot of stuff. Here, really quickly, let me show it to you, since that is what I was showing you. So this is this is what you're going to download. Okay. So you're going to be downloading this stuff that already has a lot of, okay, well, so this is an example of smart art. We're going to do some more, but that's it. And then you have 5 or 6 more that you need to add stuff and whatever. Now, the only reason I want to show you this, let me just do this now instead of later. This already has transitions assigned. And what I mean by that is, if you look here at each one of these slides, see how on the left there's this little star? This little, under the number 1, there's a little star-shaped kind of comet-shaped thing, and a number 2 and the number 3. Now this is an incomplete one, okay? This is the beginning one you guys have to start with, so this isn't a complete PowerPoint. But it already comes with transitions applied. Let me show you what transitions means. When you run it, when I now hit click to go to the next slide, see how it kind of faded in, and it fades in, and it fades in. That's a transition versus the chop, chop, chop that we've had up until now. That's a transition. And the choice in this case is a fade, which is my favorite transition, to say the truth. Okay, so now I'm going to hit undo. And an example of a transition that might be different. So if you go up here, you can try it with the slides that you just downloaded from mine. But if you go up here to the transition, so say I'm in slide number 2, and I go over here to transitions, I can choose a whole bunch of different transitions. So for example, there's this morph thing. I just chose a morph one, right? So let me run that slide and let's see how that works. When I go from here to this one, oh, I didn't have extra shapes on it. Let me select like these 4 slides from 1 to 4, and I'm going to change it to a really uncomfortable, bizarre one, right? But just so that you really see the difference. So now I'm going to play it from here. That's a transition. That's another transition. That's another transition, which is the fracture transition. There we go. So meaning you transition from one slide to the next. There's some that are very cutesy. And then there's
Also,
some that are, what?
Show them the duration, just to be
Yeah,
safe.
yeah. But that's the effects of it. Hold on. First, I want to show you the variety of transitions. So when you have all the, you go to transitions, right? Then over here, you see some, but you don't see all of them. You can go one by one and it'll just drive you crazy, or click this lower area right there. And then you'll see that there's what's called subtle, exciting, okay? Or if you scroll down, dynamic content. So I always, always, always go for fade. I rarely do something else, which is the one that I showed you first. And then I leave the exciting or those for if now and then you need something really fun to happen. Maybe you want one thing that you want to have, you know, curtains show up. There you go, right? So it's a special one that needs curtains. Great. But it's not like you want every single slide to have worse. The worst thing you can do is to have curtains in one, beehive in another, fracture in another, crunch little paper. There's one that's so funky. It's so funny. I love it. Is it origami? Look at this one. A little origami turns into a little bird and flies off. So here's the point I'm trying to make. Unless you don't think your presentation is interesting enough that people need to be entertained by the birdie, what's going to happen is that if you have all these little thingies happening every time you transition, people are going to be, instead of listening to you, they're going to be like, ooh, what's the next transition going to be? Oh, a ripple in a lake, or ooh, a crunching paper, ooh, some curtain sliding. So you want to make your slides be about your presentation. Okay. So if you saw TED Talks, it's not about whatever funky things happening on the screen. It's about your presentation. And now and then, if you have to say, okay, and now I'm going to announce, at the end, and here's the result of all these years of testing and whatever. And finally we have da, 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 da. So if you want to make the curtains go on that one slide, go for it. Then it's a special effect. You know what I mean? But for the rest of the transitions, keep it consistent. And the way I say it, if you're going to do something like, one of these really funky ones, let me go for an example of something really, really funky, like this glitter here. So say that you're going to go from that to this with a crunch, or to the next one. Then if you have it be every single slide, then, I've never gone backwards and noticed that the paper opens up.
It uncrumples itself.
I've never
Okay.
done that.
Can we just start a PowerPoint presentation backwards and just so they just like unfold?
It crunches and it goes away, and I'm going back arrow, and it opens. I've never done that.
See, the transitions are so much fun like this that we're like, yay! It's like fun to play with, but then we're like, we gotta be careful though.
Okay, so the whole point is, if you don't want the whole thing be about transitions, you need to, be careful with them, and do the majority as something gentle and comfortable and, neutral, and then leave them as effects. Or use a funky crunched paper, but because by the time you're after your fifth or sixth, it's like, oh, it's neutral. People don't see the crunched piece of paper anymore, and it's just a transition. Like if you're going to use something funky, use it all the time, even if I won't agree with it. At least I think that way people become inured to the whole concept of the curtains every time, and then they keep looking at the slides. Okay. All right. So that's for transitions. Now, the good news about these transitions is that you can, the only one, so the subtle ones I like, or the dynamic content ones are kind of cool. If you really like movement, then the dynamic content ones are kind of interesting. And the thing is that all of these dynamic content ones, for example, I'm gonna do this one, rotate. Oh. So let me share you what this means. So then it comes in like that. See that? So that's okay. It's got movement, but it doesn't distract you tremendously. Now here's the thing. What if you want it to go faster or slower, or you want it to rotate from the bottom or rotate from the top? Okay. So I'm going to hit instead. So all of these different transitions have choices under effect options. So if you go to effect options, this one, for example, gives you from bottom to top, or from left to right, or from top to bottom. So then it goes that way, right? Or from bottom to top.
We're not seeing that box.
You're not seeing when I click on effect options?
Or I'm not. Does
Okay,
anybody
so
else see the weird box?
No,
All
I
right,
don't see
so
it.
then I'm gonna have to share my whole window with you. Hold on, because it's coming up as a pop-up box, and when you share a window, the pop-up box doesn't show. Okay,
Okay,
so
that's
here's-
cool. I was just like, something
Yes.
wrong? Is it just my computer slowing down and stopping?
No, it's just that the pop-up boxes, see,
Oh.
when I
Okay.
share your window, which I was sharing this window so you didn't have to waste time and space seeing a bunch of other stuff, then little pop-up boxes don't share. So now you're seeing them. So here's my effects, and I get to say from right to left or from bottom to top, right? Or I can change, let me go to another, transition. Even if I say, here's the airplane, I kind of laugh. This is such a dark background that it doesn't really do very well with these funky ones anyway. Say that I have this clock sweeping. Whoops. Then I click on effect options, and this one only gives me 3 choices, like wedge, right? Or clockwise, right? Or if I go to vortex, it probably has, it does have some. I wouldn't say it doesn't have many. Some of them have very few choices because they're already so complicated. But others give you many. I think the push, for example, if you go to push, now there's a few of these that gives you a ton of choices. I'm trying to see reveal. I'm looking for the ones that give you like 8 or 9 choices. There we go. So here on cover gives you a whole many different choices from bottom left, okay, or from bottom right. So depending on it'll depend on what effect you choose, how many options you have. But what you do have, so see how quickly this one went? How about I want it to be much slower? So I can go over here to the right and say, so yeah, that's the one I want, but I want it to take much longer. So I'll make it be 2 seconds long, and now I'll try it. Wee. So I'm changing the time there. Okay. I'm going to go to this one, and instead of 1 minute, I'm going to make it go a horrifying 3.5 seconds. Wee. Don't do that to people, but you can. Or you can make it so fast that it's pretty much like not even happening. It's like, wait, right? So you can change that. Now, what you can also do is put sound, and I do not recommend this one either, but I have to show you. So now, I don't have the sound on my computer, do I? Okay, so now every time I click, I caught the bomb sound or cash register. Oh, I've got the really quick one going. Or, I don't know, drum roll. Now that would be good with the windows, right? Let me do the curtains. There you go. All right. So I highly recommend no sound. Okay. And then I recommend being careful with the timing. Now, sometimes it helps you with the timing to fit to music and stuff like that. All right. But the most important change, and I don't know if you'll get to that here, and this is the one that I wanted to tell you about, Vera, is this thing that says on mouse click.
Mm-hmm.
Because the default setting for all of these is on mouse click. What that means that if I run this presentation, it'll sit here forever until I click my mouse for the next one. So I'm telling it when to change. So now I'm ready to go, and I click again. Oh God, I left a sound on that one. So this basically is showing you that you have the control, and when you finish that slide and you maybe talk 2 minutes for one and 30 seconds for the other, then you hit the arrow keys or the mouse click, but over there it says on mouse click. Versus if you don't have it on mouse click, then you can program it and tell it to change after 1 second or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and make all of mine change after, I'm going to go for 0.5 of a second. Okay. So now I'm going to play that, and now my hands, it's hands free, and every half a second it changes and it changes. See, I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
And it's changing. So that's kind of the automatic one.
Okay.
So it's got nothing to do with whether you have transitions or not. If I had no transitions, I could still make it change without a mouse, okay? Which, unless you're going to record it and have it be one of those things that automatically presents, you know, like when you go into a store and you have something playing and it's sliding all the time, so it's pre-recorded, and it, then you want those kind of things. But for the rest, to just about every other presentation you do in person, you want to control, because what if a question comes up, or I don't know, the last thing you want is for the slides to start changing and you're not ready to get them to change, right? So you would always make them change with the mouse click. Okay. All right. So those are the choices for transitions and effect options, something I was not going to show you today. So there you go. But I've shown it to you. Now, let's see.
Now I
if
don't
we
have to
can get-
remind you about it.
And now you don't have to remind me about it. And now let's move over to this one. Okay, so this is the one that you all downloaded from me, hopefully.
Mhm.
And let me stop you there. Hopefully, were you guys playing on the side with your little transitions and stuff? See how this one has no transitions at all, the one that we're doing. So if I go share this one, when I click, it just changed to the next slide. Okay. Oh, this one did have a transition here. It just changed to the next slide. If you look over here, that's true. This one does have a star there. That means it has a transition. So if it has no transition, you need to add a transition. If it has one, you can change it. And all you do to change it is you go to transitions and choose a different one, right? So that changes it, but that tells you it has a transition. All right. If you want to give the same transition to all of them, I said I wouldn't do any more transitions, but as we are here, what you can do is you can choose one that you like. Say that you like, what's this fall over? Yeah, boink. I kind of use the funky ones here because you get the point, but in reality, I never use anything other than the basic slides. So say you like the fall over. Well, then you can make a time for it on mouse click and then apply to all. So now that has been applied to all my slides. So if I have 4 slides here and I run them, they're all gonna boink each time. Boink. I like that. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, Katie. She's falling over. Okay. All right. Now, because I'm done showing you this, I'm going to just translate them all to fade or none. I'm going to make none, and then I'm going to hit apply to all so that none of these have, see how the stars disappeared? I chose none and I hit apply to all. So now nothing has a transition, which what it means is that if I go from one to the next, they're just going to shift. That's it. That's all that happens. They just change. Okay. Just for the sample, it's easier to not have a transition. Okay. So I'm going to show you 2 different things. Let me start with SmartArt because SmartArt's a little bit easier to start with. And then we'll go into shapes. So go to slide number 4. So this is an example of SmartArt where you have material and it can take different shapes. Now, this is already created as SmartArt. Let's go to slide number 3. And here you have stuff that you wrote, right? So you wrote 6 bullets, 1 through 6. And maybe the second bullets have always been the sub bullet. Remember how you can have a bullet that's the main one or the sub bullet, not sub bullet.
Level? Is it
The level,
no.
the bullet level, thank you. So I'm going to click on to add your second bullet point here. And remember, I'm going to move it in so that my second bullet becomes a second level. And then I'm going to do that to the 4th one. And then I'm going to do that to the 6th one. So now I have 6 bullets, but there's 3 titles and 3 subtitles. Does that make sense? So go ahead and do that. So now that you have your bullets, you go, well, that's kind of fine, but you know what? Can I have it have a little bit more pizzazz? Can I put this into the form of SmartArt? Well, let's do that. Select all your text. and first give it the, you don't have to give it the indents, but it kind of makes it a bit funner. More fun. Yeah, that's better. It makes it more fun. So select all your text. Okay, is everyone with me? Once you selected text that's existing text, up here and go to the home. If you're still in the transitions or some other place, head over to the home tab. And in the home tab, you can go to convert to smart art. And I'm going to go to convert to smart art and show you that there are so many different types, and I'm just hovering over them, see? And it's showing me my text in different pieces of smart art. And some might be more appropriate than others. Like the way we had it, that is like one indented to the other. This one makes more sense because it has one and another versus sometimes here it's kind of weird because this one, I have 3 bullets and then 3 subs and then one in the middle. And if I look at this graph, it has no relationship to my material, which is headline and subtitle, headline and subtitle. So you hover around and you go, okay, so this means that your first bullet was less important than your second one. So how about you want more than these? You're not happy with any of these. Well, then you go to more smart art graphics. And then you have the choice of every, and I'm going to move it out of the way a bit. Now you have every kind of smart art graphic. You have lists, or you have process kind of smart art, and you can have pyramid or matrix. Like, you know, there's so many kinds. Say if you go to list, and this is actually the one that you're going to use for school, the vertical block, vertical for the present, you know, for your presentation. When you click on this one, see how you're not seeing it live? So here it's not so easy to see it live as it was before. Because before, remember how it was just showing them to me? Now here it's not. But say that I like this one and it's what I want, I'll say okay. And then boom, it got added. Now it got added, but this is really ugly colors. And why are the colors this way? Well, the colors are this way because of whatever theme was set up. Notice that when I went to check it out as a sample, it was giving me those nice little colors, and this is what I ended up with. So I could choose to change colors to the colors of a different theme, right? Or some, you know, I can choose different. Or if I really hate these colors, then I can actually go over to design again and change my theme. And maybe I want a whole different theme that has a whole different set of colors, right? So the colors that you're given as options will depend on whatever theme your whole presentation has. And before I had that kind of gray, dark stuff. And now what I have is this, you know, this set of colors. Now I kind of don't want that. I want to go back to basic in the world of design. I went to the very top one, which is the basic office theme, is what this one's considered. You know, when you hover over it, see how underneath it says office theme. Underneath this one is, these all have their different names, facet or whatever, right? So I went back to office. And now when I get back here, I'll notice that I've got something that looks a little bit livelier. That said, I can still go back to home, select my smart art again, and change it. Now notice that when you do this and you select your smart art, this time something else happens, because now you've chosen. Now it's not that box of text anymore. Now it is smart art. And when you select it, you get this pane over here that is showing you your bullets. Click on the one on number 4. We had this one that we already started with, and when I click on it, there we go. I have the same thing. In this case, time I had 1 bullet with 2 sub bullets, 1 bullet with 1 main bullet, so to say, at 1 level, and 2 on a second level. And so for this art, that works well. For this art, you know, for this material, this one works well. Well, what if I want to actually put something in here? What if I want to start writing in here? You could select the text here and replace it, or select it and you can write inside of your pane. So I'm going to go ahead and write, here's my first bullet title. And see how I'm writing over here and it changed in my smart art? I could go ahead and say, and this is one level down or whatever. Would be good if I didn't have typos. And this bullet is one level down. So if I click away, basically I'm able to write in this panel, but I could have written in here too. Sorry. I could have written in here too. I could select and double click and then select my text and put my text in the graphic itself. And then when I do that, then over here, it's being written for me. It's just much easier to do it here. It's easier to use the pane, and it's the graphic pane, is it called? I don't remember. The text pane, it's called. It's used to use the text pane. And I'm saying that because usually that's the kind of thing they ask you in the exams. They go write in the text pane, and that's what you mean, using the pane. Now,
I have a question. When you change it to office theme, this particular slide that you have changed to blue. It's not these colors.
It's just, it's because when I did my graphics, I had given it its own. So by the way, let me just show you what I'm doing now. Now it's gone, right? And when I had given it its own colors because I didn't like those burgundies it had. And so now, even though I went to office, everything else took on the office theme, but this one respected my having changed it to another color. So I'm going to select it again. And then how do I enter those choices again? Remember, once you select the Smart Art, they're gone. There's no way to enter it now. When I select it, Smart Art Tools opens up right there. So now I can click on Design or Format. And under Design, I went to change colors and I had changed to colorful. Right? So you can change those colors there. Now I changed to a different set of colorful.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can also go to format and change even more. But right now, let's just say that that's all I want to change. Let me just show you one more important thing about this text pane. When you have the text pane, not only can you put in your text in there or not, but you can also change the levels. So watch. Here's my oh, that's interesting. This one doesn't have it up there. I'll tell you why that's interesting, but anyway, let me go into this one. Where's the, it's missing the, that's bizarre. I'm missing something here that's pretty important, which is the levels. Why? You guys don't understand what's missing. So you don't understand what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for in the text pane.
There it is up there, but you want it in the text pane, but not up at the ribbon.
Yeah.
It's on the ribbon.
Not what I'm looking for. No, it's not. Let me make another slide. It was there earlier when I.
Maybe just hit the back button too many times.
Yeah, how weird. Let me put in bullet number 1, bullet number 2, bullet number 3. Sorry. Wow. I'm having a hard time with this thing. It's not staying. I'm going to select, different number there. I'm going to select that and convert it into Smart Art. Whoa, it's still not there. So weird. Let me show you this screen, which is the one that we're supposed. Why isn't it? Sure. I'm going to share a different screen so you'll see what I'm talking about. I have no idea why it's missing. I'm hearing some noise from the background, so I'm going to mute everyone for a little bit. Oh, that's you. Okay. Then I won't mute everyone.
It's
Yeah,
my
that was you.
sister's birthday.
Oh.
And so they're having dinner in the house here.
I'm sure they were. I'm sure you were happy that I was late. Okay, cool. Or she was happy.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's
All right,
cool. Every so often the dog will come in and go. So if you're wondering, her name is Moxie. She's like this big and just like a lightning back and forth little white thing. I love her to death. She's my sister's dog. And I'm like, yeah. All my dogs are always like 70 pounds or higher. So something I can pick up is like,
All right, so here's what I'm trying to show you, which I do not know why it's not happening, but here's an example, another example of Smart Art. And this is the file that you guys are going to start with. And when you select the Smart Art, see those there? That's what I'm looking for, which is bizarre. Why are they not showing up?
are those for the transition?
No, this is part of the book. Anyway, so let me just, so here you go. You select Smart Art and see how here we have step 1 title, step 2 title, and there's 2 tasks. So if you look at this, there's step 1 title, task 1 and 2, step 2 title, task 1 and 2. Look what's going to happen if I decide that the task and descriptions should change level. So I'm going to move task 1 and turn it into a bullet, just like step 1 title. So see how everything now changed because I made this a title, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I've moved them all into title mode. So each one has its own title. This is a bad example to show you this. I wanted to show it to you. Let me see if I can go to this slide and do it here. So these all are one. Let me see if I can show it to you here. I'm going to go to home, convert to Smart Art, and
was this originally the 2016 version?
Oh, this is what we just
Okay.
downloaded from. But the 2016, I've done this for the last 10 years of my life. This is the first time it hasn't worked. So weird. This is nothing to do. Okay, so here's an example. I'm using art that's like that. And then I need to use a different version. You can choose. I need to use one that, see, it's giving me, let me undo that. It's giving me only samples that don't have levels. Hold on. Because I didn't have levels to start with. So I'm just backing up. I'm going to have to add, say that all of these are sub, there we go. So now this text, when I try to convert it to Smart Art, it gives me choices. So see when the graphs, when the art, you are seeing the graph right now. So when it has a plan A and plan B, like 2 parts, then it's going to choose to put like the main title on one thing and the rest on the other thing. So in this case, that's your first bullet, and then the rest have a different look, right? Versus if I grab this and move it up, then it's got 2 that have that look, and then these are sub to that one. What if I put this text up here and I make this text be, I'm going to cut and put it in here. Like basically I'm moving things around in here and it changed the graphic all the time. So I'm putting the fact that I am moving these in the text pane, I'm going to grab this bullet, I'm going to cut it from there, and I'm going to add it here as a bullet. Then see how my graph keeps changing?
Yeah.
Just because I'm changing it all in here. And then I'm going to go, well, no, I want all of these to go backwards, and now they're all this bullet level. And then what if I put them in here? So you have to have art that's available for 2 bullets and stuff like that. So here's where you move everything. And now wait, say that you don't want this one at all. I'll hit the minus. It's gone. What if I need 2 more here? I'll click twice and then I get the 2 bullets and then I add the text. Right? So you can have, maybe I'll add 3 in here. And see how it all resizes itself to fit, because I know I'm going to need 3 more points here. So this is going to be step 3 and step 4 and step 5. And as I add more, it's added to empty ones. And I go, this bullet I don't need. So I hit that minus. And then this one, I hit the minus on that one too. So you design here. What? Hold on, my family's being really loud again. Okay, I was not being very nice there. When I'm having to yell through my headsets and I can still hear them through my noise canceling headsets, I know that you guys are having a hard time hearing me. Anyway, so anyway, I'm just trying to show you how that works. I have no idea why it's not working though. In the one that you guys downloaded, is it not working for you either?
No, we had the same problem. Oh, no,
Yeah, I'm not getting it to work either.
Yeah.
I don't know why this version's
So weird. Well, let's go ahead and do file new. And now I've switched back to the now I'm switching back to the, let's just make a new, I don't know, choose a, why not? Let's choose something. Wood type, create, just for the fun of it. But the title slide is hard for do that. Let's add a new slide so that it has a and then just say title and then go bullet 1, bullet 2, right? And then, and I'm gonna just get rid of this other one because I had made one too many. And then this thing, oh God, I'm sorry, this mouse is driving me crazy. And then go ahead and make these be subsets. And then select all that and let's convert it to smart art. And there, no. Is something wrong with the version of PowerPoint? We just created a new one. Here it says right to left. This switches right to left. But it doesn't even let me promote or not. See, because that's what the word promote would be.
I've been trying to get it to
Here it goes. Lets me promote. Okay. So I don't know why the pane isn't showing it to me, but see, I'm in here in bullet 1.
Yeah.
And I can promote it, meaning
it's
move
letting
it
you
up,
do it there? Okay.
or I can demote it. But why is this?
Oh, now it's letting me do that part.
Not
That's weird.
It's so bizarre.
Promote, demote. If they've taken that graphic out of the little pane? Yeah, because it's got move up, down, layout over there. Maybe that whole area is those.
No, but this has been in here forever and ever. Did they change it? But by the way, the reason I'm surprised is because the example that I was showing you where it was working is what you're going to download as your start project. But why, when we're creating a fresh one to just practice, it's not working? I mean, it's there, but that's very uncomfortable. Yeah. I need to look into that.
It's a new feature.
Oh, no. The feature of those arrows being here has been around for eons. I teach the entire PowerPoint.
No, I was being facetious.
Class, and I've been using PowerPoint for I mean, literally, those little arrows have been there for forever. Smart art is not new. They just add more designs, but the fact that you could move it from here, like I showed you before, I don't know why. I'm gonna have to, let me go for a new blank slide, one that has no formatting at all. I'm testing something, but anyway, I'm gonna insert a text box, so no pre-formatting. And I'm going to go sample, bullet, Smapple. And let me see, it doesn't even have bullets at all. Let me convert that to Smart Art. And no, look at that. It's just not wanting to do the thing. I'm flabbergasted. But since the one you're going to download is going to work, that's fine. So I'm going to have to research and see why when we're creating. You know what? I'm going outside of this. I'm going to my PowerPoint, my personal computer's PowerPoint.
Oh yeah. Try that one.
But let me go to the PowerPoint, the one that I just. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to share this screen now. No, I'm going to share
Still giving it weird.
this screen, and I'm going to open. This is my PowerPoint presentation, the one that I taught you today, which is I'm going to add a new slide to that. I'm going to put 3 bullets. Okay, I'm going to go sample bullet 1, bullet 2. I'm going to select that, convert to Smart Art. There it is. In my personal PowerPoint, I have it, and the only place I don't have it is in the VDI.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have it either on my personal laptop. With the example that we downloaded.
Yeah. I'm at a loss as to why. I'm gonna have to maybe you can go and do some Googling, Katie, while we talk. Google missing controls in the SmartDoc text pane or something like that. This that I'm showing you right now, this is Office 365 that I have in my computer. So go ahead and check SmartArt in 2019. I don't know. Let me go into, okay, so now I'm going to share again the VDI. I'm going to move it over here. So it's going to, let me go to Pipeline.
There we go. Now
Oh,
it's
no, I'm
working.
not in VDI. I'm not in VDI. Now I'm going to go to VDI.
Okay.
In VDI,
Oh,
I'm going to
I'm
go
not
to
unmuted. Sorry, my everything kind of froze for 2 seconds.
Okay.
I went to try to go to search and it was like nothing was moving. So it's, well, at least I can talk to you guys. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back up.
I'm going to go to modules. I'm going to see if I download. Now I'm doing through VDI. I'm going to go and download the same thing that we just, because the sample I was giving you I was sharing my PowerPoint. I'm going to go and download the assignment from Sam in here. Sam textbook project module 2. I'm going to download it here. Mine, as you all know, shows a bit differently because here's the new PowerPoint presentation. And I'm opening it inside of VDI. And if I go to that slide and open it here. It's missing. It's a VDI issue. Because
it's happening on mine as well, on my personal PC.
Well, this same file downloaded on my personal PC, I showed you the whole the text that goes and comes, but I have 365. This is 2019.
Yeah, and I don't have those options.
That's weird. Let me show what the book expects you to do. You're right. On the book, it does not show those arrows. I'm at page PowerPoint 217, the Edit SmartArt bulleted text. Type your text here. That's all it shows you. Is this something that's not available for Office 2019?
Nice feature. What page are you on?
PowerPoint 217. Module 2, page 17.
You technically still have all of those functions, but it's not in the cute little window. It's just up in the ribbon. But
it's so weird. Okay.
yeah.
I've never not had it because this is something that PowerPoint has had forever, and it seems so much easier to have it here than to have it up on.
Yeah.
You have to go all the way up to the design,
Yeah, that was
and then move it from there. That's
Yeah.
weird. But anyway, but if you look at figure 226 on page 217, there's the text pane. And it just says type your text here, just like the one that we're looking at right now. It doesn't show the arrows.
Mhm.
So I give up. It's obviously something to do with 2019. That's all I can think of. Anyway. Okay, so much for that. I still want to show you in the next in the slides that come in the future. If you go to page 1 of module 2, you can see.
Can we go back to that?
Go back.
When we're looking at that, looking for that submenu. Now, right here, how do I indent the text?
You select the whatever it is that you're choosing to outdent. You have to go up to the Smart Art Tools tab now. Hit Design, and there on the left you see the Promote or Demote.
Where?
Look at my screen. This, but for that you need to do Smart Art Tools. If you just select the Smart Art, you don't see it. You have to then go up here to the Smart Art Tools, choose Design, and that's where you'll see the text pane here.
But it's not highlighted. I can't click on Promote or Demote.
Well, you need to click on a bullet that you want to promote or demote. If I want to demote step title 2, then it gives me demote. If I want to promote it, see, when it's already step title 1, that is, it can't be promoted anymore. It's already the highest.
Gotcha. Okay.
But task 2 description can be promoted up,
Gotcha.
and then it can be promoted down again, or demoted, I guess, not promote down. That's right. Promote or demote. Okay.
Thank you.
You know, level up, level down. Okay. And then you can decide, well, I don't like that graphic. This one is going to stay this way, but you could also convert it to a different. You can say that you want to convert it to something totally different, which doesn't make sense, but you can. Anyway, so you just go into the design and choose a different color, a different set of shapes, a different whatever. Okay. Interesting reset graphic. Okay. Let me take you guys to the sample that I had downloaded, that you had downloaded from me. I want you to go to page 1 and 2 of this presentation. Okay, and so here's the thing. Go to your textbook and go to the beginning of module 2, and in the second page it shows you that you have five slides, and if you look at the 5th slide, it has a bunch of shapes and some arrows and some stuff in there. See that? And if you can look at my, here, this is the page 2. So this is what you're going to have to do. And then the 5th slide, see this one here? Okay. So I want to show you a little bit about how to move around with shapes and do things. This is the graphic that we had to do for the 2016 presentation. But this one here is like a picture of it, so you can't, it's fixed. And so on slide 2 you have the elements. Okay, you have an arrow, you have a shape here, a shape there. And so I wanted us to see how to work with shapes and how to make our own shapes. Okay, so if you grab this little kind of house looking thing and twirl it around, you would have to twirl it, remember, from that little kind of antenna with an arrow that shows up on top. Okay, and if you want it to land on one over another, when you're ready for it to finally land and be straight, like when you're near enough and you're not sure if it's straight, if you're near enough and you hold the shift key, it kind of goes snap and it snaps into that position. The circle, as long as you move it around like this, it'll be fine. But as soon as, if you move it from one of these edges, it'll distort and it won't be a circle again. So again, you can hit that little it's not little shift, and then it kind of forces itself into a circle again. So if you want to make anything be proportional from the corner, so if you grab this little circle, it won't be a circle. If you grab it from the corner or from the sides, it'll just distort. So the only way to make it forcefully be into a circle, grab it from a corner and then hold down the shift. Like give it a, you have to give it the circle shape first and then hold down the shift, and then it stays in circle mode. Notice that as we move things around, you see these little lines that are appearing everywhere and disappearing. So when I try to let go of a mouse to point it to you, it disappears. But watch the tip of that, like watch along there. When I grab the shape, see how a dotted red line appears? You see that? Those are guides. They're called smart guide. Well, I don't know what they're called. And I think they're called smart guides here too. And they're trying to tell you when things are aligned with something. Like right here, I'm moving it there. Boom, and a little red dotted line. Can you see the red dotted line? It's so tiny. Do you see the red dotted line at the tip of this shape?
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
whoops.
Yeah.
And what it's telling me,
Yes.
yeah, that tip of this shape is coinciding right now with the bottom of the circle. So it's finding relationships and warning me about them. I didn't tell it that I wanted that, but usually when things are aligned in one way or another, they look more pleasing to the human eye. So it's telling me that. Now, when I move it to side, oh, well, look at that. Now it's telling me that right in the center of the entire presentation, that line right there is telling me you have centered the tip of this thing to the center of the presentation. If I move this one around and suddenly I hit something like there and you wonder what's that? Oh, that's probably telling me that the center of the circle is also in the center of that other shape. Or if I move one over the other, now it's telling me there. Now you're not only in the center of the shape, but you're also in the center. Like I'm in the center of the shape and of the other page. Or boom, there's giving me another line. And now I can know that I'm exactly on top of this tip of the bottom shape. And I'm exactly centered on the page, right? So those are guides that appear only when you're holding the shape. And I wouldn't have been able to figure out if this is exact, but because of these guides, I know that it is exactly right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now with a shape like this, which is much more, you know, random, what's it really meaning when it's putting two together? Well, you have to kind of, sometimes it's obvious and sometimes you have to kind of guess, because this is one of those shapes that doesn't really, you know, be normal size. So you have, there you go. What it's telling me there is that the bottom tip of that arrow is aligning with the furthest point of this circle, for example. And if I'm over here, I have to, there you go. It's warning me that the bottom tip of that is arrow is aligning with the tip of this guy, but I wouldn't know it when I'm here, right? It is, if I move it down, I see that that was it. But when I'm here, I have to look around and wonder, what's it telling me? Oh, it's telling me that that tip is aligning with that thing. So sometimes you have to kind of guess at what it is trying to tell you. Now, what's pretty cool is when you're trying to align objects and you give it a certain distances, when it warns you that the objects are evenly aligned or not. So right now, I'm going to make a little space between. So watch what's happening right there. Right now I have the tip of my circle and the tip of this guy, right? I move it up a little bit and now it's telling me, oh, now I have it in the center of the page. Now watch, this one's important. I move it a little bit further and do you see that little double set of lines that is showing me now? Let's see if I can approach. Oh, now see when I approach it, it kind of goes wild. It's hard to show you this because when no, it's not letting me. Let me see if I go to the other mouse, if it stops shifting. No, it really wants to. Okay, so you have to guess. So here it is. So see how it's giving me two lines there with two little tiny arrows? What it's telling me is that I am evenly distanced from the middle. Say that I move this one all the way to the bottom and I try to move this one up. It's gonna hit, there you go, boom. See how now it's telling me now it's evenly distanced from the middle and it has that arrow, those two little blocks underneath it. So it's trying to align them so that I have some reason to trust that my things are evenly aligned. Now, right there, watch what it just did. Up at the top of the circle, it's marking something and it's telling me that's the same distance as if I look at the very bottom shape, as the bottom shape is to the edge. So you got to move things around and guess what they're trying to tell you. But after a while, you start recognizing what this is telling me is good. Your circle is just as far from the top of the white border as your house shape. It's the pentagon is to the bottom of the shape. Got it? So you have to use those to help you guys. And I don't know exactly, I know that they're going to ask you to align the three bottom shapes that you're going to make from each other. So say that now we're going to, in this example that we have here, say that this little house is in the middle and we have this circle, right? So see when I move it to the left over here, boom, now it's telling me, let's move this out of the way a little bit because let's copy this one and get a duplicate of it. So I'm going to do Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Now I have two of them and I'm going to try to put it on this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and there we go. I don't even have to think about it. All of those lines that appear are telling me that those two circles now are aligned to each other. See how there's a line drawn from top of circle to top of circle, and they're equidistant from the pentagon. I have that gutter in between of them are the same. And so without having to do too many measurements, I can tell that this is completely centered in my page. So I'm moving this out of the way a little bit so that it doesn't affect the choices. But so if I try to move this one up, it's like, oh, no, not, oh, okay, now it's telling me, okay, now you have aligned the tip to the tip. Okay. How about if I try to line this one? There we go. Now it's telling me if I aligned it to tip, but it's not sideways. So I move it to the side and there we go. Now it's telling me that I've aligned tip of the pentagon with the tip of the circles and that they are evenly distanced between each other. And when I let go, all those guides disappear again. All right, pretty cool. So you're going to need to do that. The other thing you're going to need to do is know how to, so I'm going to move this one down now. I want to keep them equidistant from each other. So I'm going to move it, making sure that those lines, there we go, but I'm going to move it lower, but I'm not going to let go until I see those. There we go. Now I'll let it go because I know that they're over. And then I'm going to bring this little arrow here and I'm going to have this arrow connect them. So I'm going to flip it around and then I'm going to have this one point into that one. And then I'm going to copy it and paste it. And maybe I want to flip it, right? So if I right click, it's not letting me flip. Where's it going to let me flip? I'm going to have to double click on it. Is the arrange going to let me? Yeah, I'm going to rotate, flip horizontal. And there you go. Now I can put, and now look at that. See how everything is aligning? My two circles and my pentagon plus my arrow. See how all the lines everywhere are all set up that I've got the right over there? Nope, not over there. No, no, as I move around and then boom, let go. I haven't had to measure anything and everything is in the right position. I grab them all at the same time and I move them all up. And there you go. I've made an example of something that's perfectly aligned. And all I did was with using the guides, those little smart guides that appear or disappear. There's probably going to ask you to use some that are slightly more measured. I'm looking at the arrows they're going to ask you to pull out. To resize a shape non-proportionally by entering an exact measurement. This kind of seems a little bit what the problem was with the pictures that you guys had problems with. On page 228, the headline is to resize a shape non-proportionally by entering an exact measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this slide and I'm going to paste, copy this slide and paste it in here. Ugh, I forget that I'm on a Mac. I'm on a PC. Why? Copy. Why isn't it letting me paste? Copy. There's weird stuff. Okay, so now I pasted another slide. So I'm going to move some of the things out of the way. Say that I want to change the shape of this one proportionally. I'm going to double click on it. Go to the format. And if I change this to be 2 inches, hit return, it's letting me do it. It's not a picture though, but it's letting me do it. I'd like someone to bring up the assignment that you couldn't get done because this is the kind of arrow you're going to have to do. This is the kind of shape you're going to have to do. For the assignment, you're going to have to do something kind of like this. Oh, but notice one thing that's a good thing that it showed here. See how the arrow is going on top of my circle here, but it's going underneath the circle here? That's because of the order in which they were created. This already existed. This one already existed. So did this, but this one I just created. So they're showing up as if they're going a level up or a level down. So I need to bring this one backwards. Okay, so if you double click on this shape here, then you can arrange. You can bring forward or send backwards. So I can send it backwards. Send it to the back and see how now the tip of the arrow appeared because I had they show up in order of arrival. It's like if I made, see these note cards that I have here, the first one that I made is lower, the second one that I made ends up on top, and then let me get a different color, and then the third one is on top. So as I make them, the last one I made is higher up, and that's why the circle was above the arrow. But if I wanted to go under, I have to send it to the back so that the arrow remains on top. Okay, so they appear in order of creation. the oldest one, the first one I create ends up in the bottom. The last one I create up it's on top. And so I get to shift them around in this order. Okay. So that's what that was. If I select it and I want to bring it forward, or I can bring it, I can send it all the way back, and you'll see how both tips of my arrows are hiding now. Or I can bring them to the front, and the tip and the bottom of my arrows are showing up. Okay, now the shaping something non-proportionally is working for shapes. Does somebody want to share the assignment where you couldn't get it to work for pictures? The assignment that was due today. So if I stop my sharing, does someone have it available to show me? I can't hear you, Veronica, but I see your mouth moving. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're trying to do it. So I didn't hear you. Were you saying, Veronica, that you can share?
You can't hear me?
Oh, there
I
you go.
didn't- Okay, now I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm just getting it open.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I'm going to go to the place on the textbook where they're asking me to do that, which would be, do you know what page it might be? Katie or someone who just did it?
With that page 228, is that what you're talking about?
No, now I'm talking about the module 1 where people said, maybe you weren't here yet, people said that they'd had trouble getting the photos to resize correctly.
Oh, I didn't have that problem.
And
It's
Katie,
page like 45-ish.
okay, there I see it. Oh, there it is. Dimensions of resized picture. So it says, drag the sizing handle inward until the horizontal smart guide is displaced and the sizing handle or crosshair is positioned. The approximate size. So now we're looking at, let me go for a second to yours, make it bigger. Veronica's sharing her screen. Okay, so can you click on the shape that has to be resized, and then let's look and see the size. Yeah, okay. And is it the paw prints or whatever they are? And double click or go up to format. Picture tools format. Okay, so it says 643 by 116. And it should be about 48 by 114. So what it told you to do is to,
You know, I got it to work because I unlocked the ratio. Because if you do it now, it'll change the ratio.
yeah,
You have to click the dialog launcher and then go to unlock ratio.
Dialogue launcher.
that little box that's at the bottom of that whole box size, but it doesn't say that.
Yeah,
right?
but it never tells you to change that in the book at all.
Yeah, but that's the only way I got it to work.
How did you know to do that?
Because I ran into the problem in one of the prior assignments.
Oh.
I knew because when I went to do the project, I was like, oh, let me go back because it tells you in the project to do it. So I went back and did it.
All right,
Yeah.
so go up to, no, don't do that. Go up to that little box that she's talking about, which if you, where it says height and width
Oh, up here.
at
Yeah.
the top. Yeah. So if you go to the little tiny arrow, look to the right of, yeah, click on that. And then unlock aspect ratio, but it's grayed out, isn't it? Or let's go see if you
Oh.
can go down to the left. It says height, width, rotation, scale, and then it says lock aspect ratio.
Height.
So we got it to work with
Oh.
Unlock that. Okay,
another
and now you
student
can
without
get it.
having to do that.
Oh, you did?
Like it never yeah.
Let me see if I can my today my things are pretty slow. I'm gonna request remote control. Do you see a
Yes,
thing
please.
do you think a thing that says request remote control?
Yeah.
You say okay to that? Okay. So can you lock that again? Lock it aspect ratio. Okay. So it's supposed to be that if you move it, what's supposed to be 114. So I'm going to move that to be about 114. 1.1, and then the width is supposed to be 4.8. 4.9. So it's working, and the lock ratio is 125. And I do keep. Why doesn't it give you an approximate idea? How weird. They're 114 by 4.85. So that's near enough. It does say approximately, but it worked for me. So I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and say undo a bunch of times for all of those to undo. And can you give it a try? I'm going to let go of my mouse now. Select the paw prints again. Just select the paw prints. Yeah, there we go. And then grab the little handle. You don't need to do any of that. I locked it again.
You locked it.
Yeah, I locked it again because it didn't. No. Don't. I did it with that locked. Go ahead and grab the little handle from the side. Nope, that's the corner one. If you go from the corner, it'll be proportional. Yeah. And then from that one, move it in or out to be 480. So to the left, actually.
Oh.
Left or right? It doesn't know. 480. No, it needs to be right now. It's 6,454. So you need to make it much smaller, actually. 675. So you need to go 2 inches less. So keep going really small. Yeah, 588, 571.
Oh, it is working.
5. Yeah. So keep going until it's 494. A little bit smaller. Yeah, 482. That's good enough.
Okay.
Now you can recenter it to the animals, and then it says 116, which they wanted at 114, so that's probably good enough. So yeah, it's working. So maybe you're grabbing the corners. If you grab the corners, it's proportional. It does only proportional resizing. So you have to grab, remember, if you grab, let me see if I can grab it myself again. If you grab something from the corner, it's proportional, in and out. So if you do one, the other one goes bigger, the other one goes smaller. So
I
you
think
should
that's
not,
what I was doing.
you need to grab the sides or the ends. Okay.
Okay.
So there we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. Okay. Anyone else who had any questions or for whom it wasn't working? A few of you said, oh, that was a problem for me too. But if not, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen again. So same with this here. If I go from the side, from the sides, so to say these handles on the sides, I'll disproportionately change the shape. So now you see this really flat and weird little shape. Now, if I go from the corner, it'll become bigger or smaller in that weird proportion, right? But if you go from the middle, then you can get it to be distorted again into a tall and thin little guy. And then from the middle, I make that, well, actually, in this case, it's even staying, even from the corners, because it's not a picture. It's not going proportional at all, no matter what. Yeah.
That's a vector.
Yeah.
And what's the command to get it back to its original shape?
Unfortunately, there isn't, but right now I did see that when you go to format, when you go to this little window, I did see a, I thought I had seen in years one, I'm not seeing it now. I thought in years there was something called reset to original for a pic, but that's for a picture because it has an original, but a shape has no real, I guess, so it's not here. Interesting. So all you can do if you want it to go back to the original is go undo until you can get back to it.
Or delete and then re-put in and resize.
Yeah, bring it in again. So get rid of this guy and try again, right? So how do you bring in shapes, by the way? I haven't even told you how to do that. These are existing shapes, so get rid of one. And then we can go into insert and you can insert shapes. In fact, from the home tab, I think you can make shapes as well. Can't you from the home? I guess
Yeah.
you used to be able to bring in from home.
Yeah, over there in the drawing, on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but they're grayed out. It's weird. Oh, is that because I have my format window out? Huh. I don't. Weird stuff is happening today. I should be able to do it here, but since I can't, then for sure from insert shapes. And then you insert whatever shape you want. And so let's say that we bring, I don't know, this little shape in. And I create that little guy, which I believe you're going to have to do. Yeah, this is the shape that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to make, for the last slide, something like this. You're going to have to do a little banner. And then you're going to have to bring in, it's kind of interesting because this I hadn't, you have to bring in a star. Show me where, or a sun. It's going to ask you to bring in a star and a sun. So I'm going to bring in a star. It's going to have you, interestingly enough, you're going to have to, I didn't do this yet, but I saw it. I saw it coming in. You're going to have to do a star. And then you're going to have to bring also a moon. Where do I find the moon? Anyone see the moon somewhere? There it is. And you're going to have to bring in a moon, kind of like that. And then it's going to have you combine all three, 1, 2, and 3. And it's going to have you go to merge shapes over here and combine. So that's kind of cool. See how it kind of knocked one out of the other? So basically I made 3 shapes, one on top of the other. Then I select all 3, right? You need to make sure to have 1, hold down shift, 3, have 3 shapes. And then over here and merge shapes, combine. So that's new. That we didn't have in 2016. The combine is new. I saw it in the textbook and I thought, ooh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I do this kind of thing in my graphic programs, but these programs are getting more and more interesting what they can do.
Can you do that whole thing again?
Yeah. So basically I brought in 3 shapes that they have. Like if you go to the insert.
Yeah, I got the shapes.
Shapes, put one on top of the other. And then select all 3. With the shift, you can click on one, click on the other, click on the third one, and you get all 3. And then under the drawing tools again, this merge shapes is a new thing. You could have joined them or done other things, but in this case, they go for combine. And when you do combine, then it kind of does this little cutout.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, but there you go. They're making you do that in the bottom of the final shape. So, and then of course you can write inside of these, I can choose this thing here and I can write inside just by starting to write. So select something and put something in here. Now, the thing is, as you can see, I wrote something and it didn't fit. So then you have to change the shape size for it to fit or you need to select your text and go back to the regular old home and make your text a bit smaller so that it fits in there, or change its color, right? So that's the color that it had originally, but you can select it and make the text white. Go over here and make the text white. So you edit the text with the original home, all the editing that you normally do. But that's how you just select a shape and start writing. And it will appear. So this is how you would make your own if you want smart art, right? in that you create your own shapes. Now what I'm noticing is that once you merge them, I let it go and I'm trying to unmerge it again and it's not letting me, but I don't know if it's because I wrote in it. Let me take away the writing and let's see. Nope. Once I've merged them, they're set. They're not separate pieces anymore. I cannot unmerge them. So they do have a little bit of a limitation. Once that shape is made, I want to move that sun somewhere else. I can't. See how the merge is grayed out? Can I edit and change the shape? At this point though, can I still change? Whoa, yeah, I was able to, the whole thing is considered one shape now. So say I didn't like the circle, I can edit the shape and change it to being a smiley, or actually I changed it to a heart and it let me do that. But this whole entire merged thing is acting as one shape now. And if I go to edit shape, I can also turn the whole thing into one little lightning thing, which is kind of a waste of all that work, but there you go. So, so you select a shape that already exists and you edit shape. That's right above where we had the merge shapes before. Merge shapes doesn't exist unless you have two shapes, right, together. So this is one, and so I can edit it and change it to something else. Now I can also edit the points, and this is a bit longer of a deal. So this is interesting. It lets you do that. This is much more than what you could do in the past. This is almost akin to what you can do in Illustrator. I'm pretty excited, guys. I know you can do this much in Word. Not that anyone's going to be
PowerPoint.
finding that. Well, if it can be done in PowerPoint, though, it can be done in Word. Basically, it's Microsoft Office.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I'm noticing that once you finish editing it and you try to edit it again, when you do something weird, it's locked in. Now I can't edit those points anymore unless I turn it back into the star. And then I can start again. How interesting. So once you've messed it up a bit, it doesn't let you keep it. I'm learning. I
So
had
it has
no idea.
limitations.
What's that?
It has its limitations.
Yeah. That's why we use actual illustration programs. But still, this is much more than you could do before. And of course, you know how we did word art in the past? We did do word art in the flyers. So you can add word art now to this text, right? That's inside your shape. So that still works. So you did word art with a flyer, and now you can put little text in here that's got there. So now I've got little beveled text. So I'm combining the stuff that you learned before with the shapes that you have now. You can give the shape an effect. You can make the shape have a bevel as well. You can have the shape have a 3D rotation. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Yeah, so, you know, the effects are pretty interesting. All right, so now I've shown you enough to learn now how to get into trouble and to have fun. And now you have to go and stop having fun and do exactly what the book tells you to do. But at least you know that you can have fun. You know, change the fill of the shape. One more thing they're going to have you do. Thanks. I'm glad I was messing around. I'm going to take the text out of this one because, yeah, I'm so glad because I knew there was one more thing. You can select a shape or make a new shape. And then in the shape fill, that's true. I forgot. In one of them, they're going to have you, instead of just putting in color fill, you can put in a picture. So you can go, I'm going to go online to find a picture of, I don't know, and birds. And I'm going to bring this little guy in here and I'm going to insert a little hummingbird. Look at how cute. So the fill doesn't have to be only color. It can be a photo. So I went shape fill and I just filled it with a picture. Or I can grab this shape and I can fill it with a texture, maybe. How about with that texture? So, yeah. I prefer plain, but then you get to do what they tell you and you learn even more. So, I'm not so far off. They're going to have you put a light bulb inside of a star. And then they're going to have you give the star a little effect. Okay, so they're going to have you make a star that has an outline, right? So you're going to give it a big fat outline. And then that outline, which we're going to give that outline a weird color, it's also going to be a dotted outline or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of what they're going to make you do, but for another shape. So it's just playing around with all of these options. The dashes of your outline, instead of being a straight line, you can make it be dashes or little dots or little things. And although it looks bad here, they're going to have a star with a light bulb that ends up outlined like this. That's on, look at the figure on page 253, figure 298. And then you're going to bring in a little icon of a house and another one anyway. So, all right. The way I see things, this is the fun part, right? It's work, but it's fun. Can you tell I'm a designer and the graphics, and this makes me way happier? You know, Katie totally lights up with Access, and I'm like, oh, good. Let's log through Access and get to PowerPoint. All right. All right. Unless you have anything else you need or want, like you want to work with assignments, then we're totally here for you. Other than that, I've got nothing else to teach you. Teach you. These are the 3 hard things, basically. 3 new things: transitions, shapes, smart art, guides, and stuff like that. Let me look for a second, see if I'm forgetting anything important. Merge shapes. Insert a shape as a fill. Oh, hyperlink. Let's go. Let's add you. Let's go to the slide 4 or 5, one of these guys, and let's make one of these be a hyperlink. Okay. So I'm going to select this first title. Here's my first bullet title, and I'm going to make it a hyperlink. So if you right click, you know what? I guess since it's in a shape, it's more complicated, but over here. So go to the link. They probably want you to not do it from here. They probably want you to go from insert. So I'm going to show you how to go from insert. And then from insert, you can enter a hyperlink from one of these. I always do it as a right. There it is. Link. Okay. So it's right click link, or it's insert and link. And then over here, you get to tell it where to link to. So I'm going to go ahead and, since normally what's missing here is that you need to have an address, but not just an address. You need to have a, I'm going to say cancel for a second, because before you can do the hyperlink, you need to have, I'm going to say cancel. You need to actually go somewhere and have an actual address, because say that you go to sbcc.edu, that's not really the address. The real address is www://lat4 That's really the thing. So let me tell you how you do this correctly to do a hyperlink. You go to wherever, you would never try to write it because it'll always turn out wrong. Go to a page you want to hyperlink. Click in there and look at, this is just kind of like a magic trick. I'm going to copy. So you'd think that what I'm copying in sbcc.edu, right? That would seem to be when I'm copying. But when I go back in here and I link this, when I paste, oh, I hate, I'm in the whole issue that I can't copy paste inside of VM. Okay, let me go back in here and copy. And now I'm going to hyperlink and link and paste. Why isn't it letting me copy paste? How frustrating. What I'm trying to show you is that you need the entire address of something. So say that you're accustomed to clicking in here and going into, I don't know, CNN. If you just say CNN, it takes you to CNN.com, but the entire address of this is actually https://www.cnn.com. See that? That's really the address. So when you come here and select, even if all you're seeing is CNN, when you select this and copy, what gets copied is the entire thing. And when you go in here to paste, if my paste for some bizarre reason was working, I would be pasting the entire thing, and I'm driving myself crazy. Why is it not? Wow. It's not pasting, so I'm going to have to write it, which of course it's going to never work. www.cnn.com. Okay, so I wrote the whole thing because I can't for the life of me copy. I said, okay. And see how now it's linked? And if I hover over it, it's gonna show me the address. So once I am sharing this as a presentation, so now I've just done it, I can just click on it and it's gonna go. And so in the middle of presentation, it's gonna go, oh, that luck, we didn't want to hear that news. But anyway, see how it goes straight there? Now, when I'm not in the middle of a presentation, I'm gonna hit escape. If I'm in my mode, my working mode, and I try to click on it, it's not gonna go, because otherwise everything you clicked on would take you away. If you really want to test it, you have to, as it says there, control click to follow the link. But in the middle of you doing your presentation, because you're in front of your audience and you're actually presenting it, then a simple click will work. You've actually made an active link. See how when I hover over it, it says HTTPS, but you can't have just the CNN.com. You have to have the whole entire address in there. Okay.
I didn't put the www and I still was able to access City College.
Yeah. Especially if it's an easy one or one that you've driven to or like navigated to before, but you might be in a browser, an older browser, whatever. So just for security's sake, you should have the entire thing in there, because what if you're using a computer that's older and it doesn't have the latest browser in it and you just wrote CNN, it just won't work. You need to put in the whole address. So just always for security's sake, you need to bring in the entire website page in there, which usually means just going there and copying. And if you just copy SBCEU, that's all you need to do. It all, even if you're seeing sbcc.edu, it takes you to the HTTPS done thing.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's all it takes to do hyperlinks. And I have now shown you everything you need to know under this planet to get this job done. Isn't it great?
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
actually like it. The volume module 2 of PowerPoint didn't teach you that many things last time. I'm actually liking that it prioritizes a few more useful things. So that's good to know. Cool. So if anyone wants to do their work, please go ahead and stay. Other than that, I am giving you an easy out, and Belém usually likes to stay and start and working. And so just so you know, please start working. Oh, Katie has to celebrate a birthday party, so maybe we should let her go.
She should go.
Bye. Enjoy.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Oh, Katie, before you go though, can you text me whatever it is that I asked you to text me? I think I already did it. I think it's this. I think I already did it.
Yeah, you showed the things that you were supposed to show. I'll send you a remembering.
Oh, I know. I need to set up the practice exams. That was the other
Yeah.
one. So
I'll
while you
send you
guys
a
are
name on
doing
that.
your work, if I'm here and you need anything,
Bye, everyone. I'll be heading out then.
Good night,
I'm
everybody.
gonna sign off
Veronica.
too. Good
Bye,
night.
Sasha.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. See you
Good
next
night.
week.
Good night.
Right.
Right.
So unless you guys have a specific question as you're working, what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go to the course and I'm actually going to put those practice exams on. So let me get those practice exams running. Here we go. 1 second. And Xochitl just left. Of course, now I'm going to have to go edit that because